Hello, how you doing?
Hello, is this Dazzle?
Yeah, it's Dazzle.
Yes, how you doing? I want to know if I can book a reading or if you're available for a reading.
Yes, always. What's on your mind?
Okay, so I think my baby father's sleeping with the girl next door.
What?
And yes, because she always looking at me funny. She never really speak. But every time I'm with him, it's like she speak and be giggly, like doing this like a side eye thing. I think it's like a woman's intuition thing. He say I'm tripping, but I know I'm not. He don't do nothing for me, nothing for my kids. And the other day, I found like a Gucci receipt in his armrest, and just coincidentally, she had like some.
Alright, we're gonna figure.
Man, you ought to take that cane and beat whoever made that suit to death.
You vacuum that coat, man.
Well. The most diabolical haters this side of the Mississippi. Buck Nasser, what can I say about that suit that hasn't already been said about Afghanistan? It looks bombed out and depleted. And of course, the so-called beautiful. Why don't you click your heels together 3 times and go back to Africa? And as for you, boss hog, very insulting what you said about my coat. It's made out of your mother's pubic hair. Quite silly. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go take my throne, because I'm a shoo-in for Hate of the Year.
Hello, everybody. It's your girl, dazzledattarot, and I'm back for another Pick a Card Tarot reading in my new series, Haters Ball, okay? Because we got to know the haters is in town, and we got to know they watching you and they hating on you, girl or guy, for one, okay? For two, haters are really your fans, because who's watching you that close but fans? So let's get into it, y'all. So this is what we're going to do. You're going to pick a pile from 1, 2, and 3. If you pick pile 1, okay, it is the thundercloud right here. That's what's representing pile 1. If you want to pick pile 2 is going to be represented by the Queen of Wands in the reverse. Pile 3 is going to be represented by the strawberry shortcake, okay? So here's what you do. You close your eyes and you think of a number 1, 2, and 3, right? And then after you focus on what pile, you pick it, and then it's an in general reading. If it does not apply, let it fly. And what does apply, keep it, right? Because you never know how your haters feel. All right, so today is going to be, how do your haters feel about your relationship? You know, they be hating, so you know it's some hateful shit. Who knows, right? So let's do it. All right, y'all. Pick a pile from 1, 2, and 3. All right, we're going to start with pile 1. How do your haters feel about your relationship? Your pile is represented by the storm cloud, okay? Boom. Let's rock out. So the way I did all this is that I got numerous, like this is a pile of different tarot and oracle decks. So it's coming from different ones, right? So in this compiled to make one hating-ass individual and how they feel. So, I mean, I don't know. But let's look. How does these people feel about your relationship? You have Queen Bee, strangulation. You have the Fool in the reverse. You have the plant. They'll claim I did it first, knowing damn well they got inspired by you. You had the comparison in the reverse, the Queen of Swords, and connected. Okay, so let's start with Queen Bee. Flat out, you're absolutely confident in your connection. They look at you and they admire that, right? Because your haters is actually your fans too. They know that within this relationship, you are valued, right? You are the divine feminine. I feel like you might be a female. Hey, right? So they see you as the one who is out here being the mover and the shaker in the relationship, right? They can't stand that shit. They want to kill themselves when they see you, girl. When they start focusing in on what you got going on, they like, oh my God, they can't breathe, girl. They be wanting to choke. They be wanting to hang themselves. They don't like it. But also, they view your divine feminine boss bitch status as overwhelming in the relationship, right? The Fool is in the reverse. They also feel like not only can they not take you, they look at what they got going on and they're hesitant to actually like make new beginnings. So it's like you're the confident one that would jump out there and actually, find your person, actually make your relationship grow. They're having blockages with new beginnings with, their love interest. Okay. So they don't like that. So what they're going to do is they're going to jump out the window every time. They're going to try your relationship. All right. They know that your relationship, this plant parent right here, they know your relationship has been tended to. It's a loving relationship. Being a plant parent is a commitment, okay? You have to have a green thumb in a way, right? You have to actually water this plant, feed this plant, put it in a position where it grows successfully, right? And it grows over time. So they see you within your relationship. They see the effort you put into your relationship, you and your significant other, and obviously they're intimidated by it. In fact, what they also do is they also try to one up you for some reason, like they're in secret competition. So they're the type of people that would say, for instance, you get engaged. They're the type of people that would get engaged to their side dude or their side girl just to run up you, right? Like they will do it. Why? Because they'll claim I did it first, knowing damn well they got inspired by you. So anything that's happening, and I think it's more than just a relationship, anything that's happening as far as your creative ventures, your career ventures, things like that. Like they're the type of people that'll watch what you're doing and see how successful you are, but they'll try to, like I said, one up you. Or these are the type of people who would like to say, for instance, you're saying things that, say, for instance, you confide in this person. They feel like, okay, let me get the good example. Like, for instance, in my relationship, I had to be my partner's partner. We had to actually be a team. Oh, I told you that a while ago that you need to be a team with your partner. Look, the whole time I ain't never say no shit like that. But things like that, that's for some of y'all, right? They do stuff like that. Haters like to try to do the most, right? So they compare, okay? You see two people with wallets, they compare what you have compared to what they have. One is empty, one is full. One got that guap, one don't. Right? But see, instead of not acknowledging our differences, okay, what it say? It's an excuse for not acknowledging our differences held us back. Bridging the gap starts with honesty about what sets us apart. See, this person might be close because, haters do be close because, how could you hate from that far of a distance? I mean, you can, but they must be close enough to you to actually know what you got going on. And because they are in secret competition with you, they're comparing themselves. They're comparing the quality of your relationship to theirs. They're not only doing that, they're comparing everything else about your life to theirs, right? And instead of just understanding that you as an individual might be different from them, y'all two walks may be different. Instead of understanding that and actually finding it beautiful because we're different people, they're going to sit there and resent you for it. Okay? They actually like your confidence. Again, this is another strong woman. they, with this goddess of swords, they also like your confidence, okay? They like the fact that you are loyal, okay? They also don't know how you do it. You're like an enigma. They don't know how you do it, right? They don't know how you can effectively communicate and things actually cause a domino effect and start a change with you and your partner. Like, y'all actually build, right? So even if there's problems, you are an effective communicator. You're wise enough to actually work through your issues with your partner. And they don't understand how you do that. In fact, they don't even understand how you and your partner lasted this goddamn long. Okay? They don't get it. And so for her or him, your blessings, as far as your good qualities, your everything, when it comes to your relationship and when it comes to you as a person, is in fact a storm cloud over top of their heads, because it represents what they don't have. Okay? And if this person comes around you, they are low-key feel like they losing this one-sided competition that they got going on. And it bothers them. And it makes them depressed about what's going on in their own lives. So that's how they view your relationship, y'all. How y'all like that? So, all right, pile 1. We're going to go into pile 2. How does your haters view your relationship? Okay, pile 2, you are represented by the Queen of Wands in the reverse. I wonder how that fit in. So, let's see. Your haters, massive regrets, greed, the Death card in the reverse. You have the mansplainer extraordinaire, altering your values or morals or making life decisions. This is about boundaries. This is imprisonment in the reverse. Nova, the universe, and higher self. How does that work, y'all? Okay, so massive regrets. You're a hater. How they feel about your relationship. Now, either they are your ex. This can be an ex-lover who's looking at your relationship. This can be someone whose own relationship did not work, or they have actually done things that didn't work. Okay? Or this can be someone who wants to be a third party, right? Because they're looking at what you have. You have greed right here. Greed is the root of a lot of evil, right? So this person might be envious, very envious of y'all financial status, and they probably want that, or they view your relationship as well off, well-to-do, and they don't like it. They can be in a relationship themselves. I'm just throwing that out there. They can be in a relationship themselves and see you in your relationship and see how it's prosperous, and they are envious of that. They're also, when they see your relationship, they see the death in the reverse. This is someone who cannot transition, okay? As in like transform, transmute their relationships, right? Because they have massive regrets. So maybe they didn't come up to their relationship with the best intentions, right? Maybe they were more focused on what they wanted than the other partner. Maybe they were not able to compromise, things like that. Mansplainer extraordinaire. You have this going on, right? Mansplainer extraordinaire. I believe, now look, I'm going to look this up, y'all, because I ain't no shame in my game, all right? Because I'm trying to figure out what a mansplainer extraordinary is, right? Because I'm like, I kind of got thrown off by that. So, mansplainer extraordinaire. What is that? That is a new thing for me. Okay, so that is the term used to describe a man who frequently and condescendingly explains things to others, especially women, often when they already understand the topic. Okay. It highlights a pattern of over-explaining and belittling stemming from a perceived need to assert dominance through knowledge. Also, know-it-alls. Usually, it's male energy, right? So, being the fact, again, this could be an X. This shows the X, but it doesn't have to be a man, right? Because energy is interchangeable. But this is someone who basically does that. Right? So they'll sit there, and because their shit ain't going right, they'll sit there and basically try to do the most with you. Right? They'll try to belittle what you're doing in your relationship. Okay? Altering your values or morals or making life decisions. Oh, this is what they also do. You have boundaries. I want to follow the rules we set and not be tempted to break them. I value our boundaries and know that they protect us. Y'all have healthy boundaries in your relationship. Okay? That's the problem. And what they want to do is, between this mansplainer and altering your values and morals and making life decisions, they want to pretty much destroy or cause some type of negative influence within your relationship, so it can break apart. I feel like for some of y'all, there's a third party that wants to ruin your relationship, that wants to come into your relationship because they're jealous, because they're envious, because things aren't going right in what the fuck they got going on in their relationship. And they can't transmute that the right way. They can't build, even if it means to start anew with someone else. They cannot do that for some reason. So they're over here whole time trying to fuck up your energy or your partner's energy and try to straight up either steal your partner or ruin your relationship. You have Nova, the universe. To me, for me, based on this depiction, this illustration, this woman has a wand and she is wielding her divine feminine powers into this cup, right? To create the universe. The universe is a creative space. You're creating. They're not. They see that. You're creating your bubble with your significant other. You guys are creating a world together. And this world is secure and safe. It has protection. They don't want that. They want to knock down that protection. Matter of fact, you guys are aligned to be together, you and your partner, right? You and your partner are spiritually connected, right? You and your partner trust in each other. And it won't happen. So, in fact, the Queen of Wands in the reverse makes sense because this person's a Jezebel spirit. Okay? Straight up. They want to stop y'all. They want to cause some type of negative influence. If they can come into the third party, they can. And that can be male or female. They are extremely jealous and bitter. Okay? That's what I'm getting. And they will want to, they'll even try to get you in a situation where your partner doesn't trust you. You know what I'm saying? These are the type of friends that ask you over their house, and whole time they bring two guys over the house. So now we'll look like 2 for 2, and it look like all four of y'all, messing around or some stuff. These are people who would sit around and be your neighbor, right? Asking for sugar and stuff. You help them out whole time. What they really been doing is watching you and watching your partner, and they low-key want your partner to have sex with them. you know, just to ruin your relationship because they see what you got and they don't like it. But the problem is they get upset because you guys have good boundaries. You guys have healthy boundaries. You guys are connected. You guys trust in each other, and you guys are creating. They can't do that. And so they try to make it difficult, low key, if they can, right? These are people that you keep at a distance. Okay, pal two. So I hope y'all like that little bit of a reading. Take it, leave it. It's in general, you guys. But that's how your haters feel about your relationship. Watch out for those people, though. They'll be the type that you be thinking they giving you good advice all the time. They giving you advice that'll fuck around and get you and get you left on red by your partner. Okay. Oh, because they don't want you to be with them. In fact, they'll tell you to leave your partner if your partner do one little thing that you don't like. And the whole time when you do leave, you fuck around, come home, and they with your partner. Yeah. They do stuff like that because they hating they Jezebels. Okay? So that was it for pile 2. Pile 3, how your haters feel about your relationship. Come on, let's get into it. You got too late. Fake death. The King of Pentacles. Meal prep mastermind. Lavender Sage. Clears away negative thoughts, energies, harmonizes the mind, enhances intuition, inspires loving feelings. Okay, you got I feel you through everything. The news we heard, the pain we share, and the hope we hold on to. We are connected even in the dark time. Bad news. The Four of Wands and inspiration. Okay. Okay, so for some of y'all, this can be past lovers that don't like y'all relationship, okay? Either on his part or on your part, right? This is a fake death. This is someone who's blended in the background, okay? This person, you know, when you separate from a person and you move the hell on, this the type of person that is sit around here and try to still be in the background. They still want to be connected to your significant other friends or your friends or whatever the case may be, right? Or they still want to be connected in some type of way in the background just in case, right? But see, the problem is they don't understand that what's done is done. It's done. They see your partner or you. They see the stability, security, and wealth within your partner. Okay, they know that your partner is now treating you like the best thing since sliced bread. They want to build with you. They want to be zaddy, okay? They want to make you feel secure. They want to be the dominant person, be the man of the situation. You know what I'm saying? Provide that masculine energy so you can sit in your divine feminine. You see how this girl is like, he's like, come here. You know what I'm saying? He like, come here, I take care of you. And you know what I'm saying? He's doing all the right things because he's a right kind of guy. He's stable, he's solid. And that person is still in the background because they know that they probably just fucked up. Okay? So they know that they still in the background because they look and they like, damn, I messed over a stable person. Now this person out here making this other woman feel all confident in her divine feminine, like, girl. They hear the buzz. They know. Oh shit. He done bought her the ring that he was supposed to buy me. He bought her a car. Look at him being all loyal, being good to her. Man, I know the sex good. He just stable and strong. He's solid. Damn, I fucked up. You know what I'm saying? I know I fucked up. Meal prep mastermind. They see y'all relationship and they know that you guys are planning ahead, right? You guys are feeding your relationship. Okay, you're feeding it accurately and you're planning ahead, right? You guys are really setting the groundwork for long-term success, right? When you do meal prep, that's what you're doing, right? It cuts time. You've already set up a situation whereas though you're getting everything you need within the meal. Hey, some people like high protein, some people like keto. I don't know, right? So you're doing that, right? But it's in the mind frame of building a relationship. They see you doing that, right? They see your relationship and they see what happened with their relationship. They had a lot of negative thoughts, okay? They had paranoia, right? They seen a good person and they was like, why the fuck this person so good to me? Why is this person a stable person to me, right? And they ruined their relationship, right? They ruined their relationship with bad news, okay? They probably heard something, there's rumor mill coming around, but you're supposed to stay strong. They couldn't stay strong, right? Anything they ever heard or ever thought, they probably accused your partner when they were their partner of cheating and they never cheated, probably accused them of not being solid, you know what I'm saying? But they were solid. They was the ones with the paranoia and things like that. But see, they see the stuff with y'all and they see how y'all can actually connect and actually get through and navigate all that mess, right? They see how y'all don't sit in negative thoughts, okay? So even if some stuff happened, you guys can work through it, right? Even if y'all get bad news, right? You guys are solid. They see your relationship as solid, as family. You guys are going to grow. Y'all can even be married to this person or potentially get married to this person, right? They see y'all as inspiration, right? They know it. But instead of that, they don't want to use it as inspiration. They want to be in the background waiting on shit to fuck up on the low. Like I said, they still want to be connected in some type of way. They're not going to delete this person from Facebook. They're not going to delete your person from Facebook or you from Facebook, however it go. They're going to still be, watching y'all anniversaries and stuff. Lord, don't tell me if y'all get married, they're going to cry. Yeah. So they still going to be like, if your significant other, you see them on the street, they'll be like, well, I'm getting married too. Or, me and my significant other isn't doing too good. Poor me. Because they want that sympathy, right? Because they want that solid person so they can talk to and, things like that. And hopefully they let them in. They waiting to get in, okay? They waiting for their moments. And they hate the fact that your significant other moved the hell on and they see that they happy as hell with someone else who's their actual divine counterpart. They mad at that, okay? So that was kind of specific, but hopefully you guys take that. And all right, so that's what it is for Pile 3. All right, so that's what I got for you guys. Love y'all for real, and I'll see you guys later. Alligator.